Hello everyone, Therese Lawler here. So recently I got a Gaumer's guide, and even though I've been here for literally like almost 5 years, I never really went here. I passed by it and I was like, I think it's closed. I've tried to go into it a few times, but it was closed. But yesterday it was open and I went in. It was so cool. And I'll go ahead and take photos of my pamphlet so you guys can see, because it really kind of is like the Natural Science Museum for me, so I had a lot of fun. So, but I wanted to go over this field guide that I got from there because I want to learn more about fossils, because I feel like fossils can really help you learn a lot about, where it is that you're living, about, the soil and rocks and stuff like that. And, if you dig in Arakan, which was my case, I found a lot of these shells. And looking at the shells really helped me figure out like a lot about, Arakan. Because Arakan is like really like high up on top of a mountain, and I was surprised to dig and find all these shell fossils, and I was like, that is crazy. Anyway, I wanted to do an introduction of California fossils. I'll read that from here. It says, fossils are remnants of organisms from a past geologic age. Aquatic environments are the most likely places to begin the process of forming a fossil. These environments include lakes, swamps, and oceans. California is rich with deposits of rock formed from water-deposited materials. Most of the strata of the coastal mountains were deposited by the Mesozoic Pacific Ocean. The Paleozoic strata of Death Valley are other examples of marine-deposited formations containing abundant fossils. How to use this guide. First, you need to become familiar with the terms in the vocabulary section. Then start by answering the questions in the identification matrix. Select the answer which best describes the fossil you are trying to identify. Turn to the page indicated and continue the identification process until you are led to a classification at a phylum, class, or order level. Examples of common fossil forms are given with an explanation of the kind of animal the fossil represents. So here is a drawing guide, and I wanted to talk about radial symmetry. So the sand dollar has radial symmetry. There are many apparently equal sections radiating from the center. And then here at the very top, it says bilateral. Seashells with one plane of symmetry, thus they are the same on both sides, but not the same on both halves. So the second one is colonial, and when I was at Gaumer's, I saw a really cool coral fossil. And it says a group of animals of the same species that live together as a community where individuals provide special services or functions. No one member of the community can be removed and survive on its own. So yeah, like a coral, fossil. I thought it was cool. It was like a bunch of like corals together. So when corals become a fossil, something has gone wrong there basically. So one member of the community was removed and then it couldn't survive on its own, like when the corals like become bleached and stuff like that. This one is equilateral. Each half of the shell is a mirror image of the other half, and the other side of the shell is not a mirror image of the other shell. Right here is the next one. It says up top, five-fold symmetry. There are 5 apparently equal sections radiating from the center. So next is solitary, an animal which can live by itself and does not rely on the services or functions of other members of its species for survival. So next is symmetry, a regular or balanced arrangement on opposite sides of the same shell or the other half of the same shell. Next, I have a geologic time. So this one's really cool. It says Cenozoic era, period, Quaternary, epoch, Holocene. How many years ago? That was 20,000 years ago. So under the Cenozoic era, Quaternary period, there is an epoch called Pleistocene, and that was 2 million years ago. So it just gets older from there. So basically there's an era called Cenozoic, the period is Tertiary, and then the epoch is Pliocene, and that was 5 million years ago. Next you have the era Cenozoic, and then the period is still Tertiary, and the epoch is Miocene, and that was 24 million years ago. Next is the epoch Oligocene, and that was 37 million years ago. Next epoch is Eocene, that was 58 million years ago. And then there's another epoch called Paleocene, that was 63 million years ago. So it's important to be able to say, like, okay, that was like this many years ago, and then that way, like, we can understand, like, okay, so that shell was made this many years ago, and so how is that relating to these shells, and like how much have they evolved and things like that. So anyway, that is it for my video. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye bye.